Welcome to our 2024 season of the Cloud Industry Forum presents TWF, exclamation mark. We're speaking to you from our wonderful mixed reality newsroom style set that our friends here at Disruptive Live have made for us. This is our new style video podcast where each week we interview a guest from one of our Cloud Industry Forum members or someone with something to say about cloud technology or transformation or what's coming next. I'm David Terrar. I'm the CEO of the Cloud Industry Forum, which is a not-for-profit trade organisation that champions and helps accelerate the adoption of cloud technology and services. If you want to find out more about us, we're at cloudindustryforum.org. I'm at DT on X. I'm David_Terrar on Threads and Instagram, and easy to find on LinkedIn. Today, we'll be talking about both the tech startup scene and the explosion in AI technology that we're all experiencing with somebody who connects the two. I am delighted to tell you our guest here in the studio is Harry Berg, who's already exited 2 startups and started a third a few months ago. He went to Imperial and dropped out, so we'll hear about that because that's interesting. And he was lecturing there last week, so that's interesting too. Of course, as a UCL alumni, I don't hold the Imperial thing against it. But Harry, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. So what do I do? Right now, I help companies to delegate anything outside of their core competency to AI systems. And the way I do that is by taking the very best engineers and hackers from the very best universities and helping them to build solutions to these problems. And then help them take that forward and really just try and help companies solve those pain points that they've got.
Okay. And that company's called Parapet.
That's right. Parapet's the new company.
Before we get into that, tell us a bit about your journey. Like, you dropped out of Imperial to do something. How did you get from there to Parapet?
Yeah, for sure. So I was studying at Imperial in my 3rd year, got invited to join Y Combinator, a startup accelerator based in Silicon Valley. So I moved out there to work on one company. Later, after we completed Y Combinator, exited that company, went back to London to work with my best friend, created a new company that is now one of the largest AI and data training providers in Europe. So I built that over the past 4 years, decided that I've never had a job, so it doesn't really make too much sense for me being the person to help other people get jobs in the industry. So that was an AI bootcamp teaching people to get jobs as machine learning engineers, data scientists, and data analysts. But yeah, I never had a job, so I felt a little bit, that's not my passion, it's not my calling to help people do that. So what I do now is effectively the same thing, teach people about AI, but not to get a job, but to build and launch new products, always working backward from problems in industry. So I've got kind of a board of people, experts who are seeing this stuff in practice, yourself and a bunch of other people from the industry. The Cloud Industry Forum would be great to get in touch with people who have got those problems.
Excellent.
Working backward from those problems to build solutions. So that's kind of like a very quick version of how I got there.
Okay. Well, tell us a bit more about how Parapet is going to work and what your vision for that is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, where to start with that? When I was back at university, the main problem was I wanted to build these systems and I had no idea how to do it. And all we found at one end was the very, very basics of Python, and the other end, very theoretical and accessible reading groups that PhDs are hosting. The problem I was facing was I didn't have a step-by-step guide how to take that journey as a technical founder. I wanted to be my technical founder. There was really no guidance of how to do that. And so what I want to do now is build the best system to show people from these great institutions, that's a path they can take. Instead of following the traditional path, I think there's a great opportunity to build stuff right now, build stuff in AI, build stuff to solve problems for big companies, and use that as a way to kick off your career rather than wave your degree around in the air for 3 months, waiting to get hired at Goldman, and then end up working somewhere you don't like for a salary you don't like, running a 9 to 5. So I think there's a really exciting opportunity to build stuff right now. There's lots of problems to be solved. There's loads of new capabilities and unlocked technology from AI specifically. It's just such a great opportunity for people to get involved with.
Excellent. So these lectures you've been doing at Imperial and Oxford and Cambridge, that's been to undergrads to kind of catch the idea in their brains, kind of.
I mean, it's really to a whole spectrum of people, and a lot of the time it's much more senior people than I'm expecting, like real PhDs at the cutting edge who want to get out of academia, or even professors and staff who are curious about that, but really like a whole spectrum. The main thing it appeals to is people who are They have that hacker mindset, they have that engineer mindset. They want to create stuff, they want to build stuff, and they really want to solve problems. I keep saying that, but they want to take ideas that we've got of solutions to problems from industry, and they want to turn those into reality. So it's really to like a wide spectrum of people.
Excellent. Sounds really good. Now, I've had a good nose around the Parapet website and a good thorough look at what you're doing. And one of the things that intrigued me is you're kind of trying to build a community approach to this. And
that's right.
And you get people to go online into a community space, like at 8 o'clock every evening kind of thing. Tell us how that works. And I'm particularly interested in the kind of technology, what platform you're using to do that, because I'd like to do the same thing with Cloud Industry Forum members.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really good. I mean, it's so important to get people together and just keep the ideas mixing, but also to build a habit of building and creating stuff. And that's what I'm trying to do. We've got a bunch of different pilots running for industry partners right now, building solutions to their problems. And to keep up the momentum of just getting those things built, we got to have all the members of Parapet, getting together as a habit, building those things. So it's just a bunch of us hacking together online on Discord. That's where we do it. Discord's the best place for it. Jump on live audio, video, screen sharing, this kind of thing. It's we call it the digital startup garage. We've got a bunch of different rooms, the garage, and a few others which you can join, and I will show you.
Excellent. Yeah. That's really good. In Discord, I wasn't expecting that, but it makes sense.
Yeah, Discord's great. It's so easy just to get it all working.
Yeah, very good. Now, the last 12, 15 months have been different because we've all been experiencing this explosion in AI.
Yep.
Tell us what you think about that and how it's influenced what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for a lot longer than it's been cool. I've been working in AI since a long time ago, and it's really interesting to see it go mainstream now. Yes. One of the most interesting things is that it's all suddenly become much more accessible. It's not that you have to know the technical details of how it works under the hood, but there's applications which are very convenient for people to jump into, and I think that's one of the things that's made it really take off mainstream.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Now, and obviously that's kind of ChatGPT and Bard and stuff like that, and I mean, most people in tech that I know of are kind of experimenting with it if they're not actually using it for real stuff yet.
Yeah.
How do you think that this explosion and, if you like, the pivot point that we're just going through will change things for 2024, for this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I think probably seeing GPT-5, new capabilities there, big things that I'm excited about, more competent multimodal models that can take in more than just text and image, but understand more interesting modalities of data like code and screenshots and applications. I'm really excited about large action models. So that's one of the new technologies which is coming out really hot right now. Those are like large language models can generate text. Large action models can generate actions. Excellent. Actions for controlling applications that you use on the day-to-day. That is, using Uber or booking a restaurant or getting food. Anything that you're kind of using your phone for to click around. Soon, I think large action models are going to. Well, the point of large action models is to be able to use those things for you. And I think that the follow-on from that is that you're going to start to see more AI-first applications, AI-first interfaces, where the interface is maybe natural language, so voice-based computer input. I don't know what will happen there. That's one thing that maybe technology just doesn't go in that direction. But if it does, I think it's really exciting. It's going to make things a lot easier, again, more accessible for people to use when you go to use something and you have an AI system which basically just says, what do you want to do, and guides you through that process. I think it's also interesting because the voice-based interaction, what that does is it changes it from when you start with a text box, you can easily spend a minute or so thinking about what to type.
Yes.
When you're asked a question in conversation, you're never going to pause for more than a few seconds. So that's one thing I'm interested to see. Will that really accelerate how quickly, just the momentum you get through products? If you're asked a question there on the spot, you're probably going to respond to it immediately rather than have to wait and type it out, So personally, that's one thing I'm really excited about. I think other people are skeptical, but I'm just optimistic about it.
I'm with you. I think the way we interact with technology is changing as a result of what's happened last year and other kind of announcements and things that we're going to come to in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're still seeing, we're seeing like big companies raising a lot of money to do things like both build large action models and to build AI first hardware. There's a bunch of different examples of that coming out. I don't know if that's going to take traction, but we'll see.
We'll see. Now, obviously, I speak for the cloud industry as the Cloud Industry Forum, and it's my belief that cloud technology is an enabling kind of technology to make all this stuff that we're talking about happen. Do you agree with that? How do you talk about the cloud to the people in the incubator?
Absolutely. I think it's shocking to see how many people still don't realize that cloud is the solution to best-in-class security, scalability. Just really, like if you want to make big products that are safe and they really work, the cloud is obviously the best way to do that. It's kind of like an analogy I use is it's like if your company needs an office to work in, you don't make sure that your company has a plumbing department because that's infrastructure. And in the same way, you don't need to make sure that your company has a database team or a team who knows how to manage servers and this kind of thing, because you should really delegate all of that stuff to cloud services. Like I said, best-in-class security, best-in-class scalability, best-in-class cost effectiveness. And so, one thing I have seen, because one thing I forgot to mention is I've spent a bunch of time advising businesses from defense to education. So I've seen a lot of the inside of this, and you get a lot of people who are hiring engineers based on the fact that they know how to manage servers, they know how to set up proxy servers for serving web apps and these kind of things. And in reality, a lot of that is unnecessary, and it's all becoming the plumbing of cloud, which you could just build on top of. And so that's one reason why it's very easy for myself and people who know about it to spin things up quickly. You don't need to invest these huge amounts of capital to get the teams, to get the infrastructure set up, because you can already start from that cloud. You can leverage that cloud infrastructure. And now, especially we've got so many templates which are just let you spin things up like that. All the infrastructure for AI projects is really there. You just need to, as I said at the beginning, focus on your core competency. And that's what we want to do. We want to help businesses to solve those problems which are outside their core competency so that they can just be really, really good at what they do.
Excellent. You're speaking my language, Harry. This is good.
And it's exciting because there are so many things that are just that you can now automate. You can now delegate to AI systems because they can understand a lot more of the complicated stuff that you're doing. What does this code mean? What is the how does this help in design and marketing and all these different departments which were traditionally not like nice, clean, structured data. Now it's all interpretable because of new AI capabilities.
Now, we've discussed AI a bit. We've talked large action models, which is interesting. What's the other kind of emerging technology that's around at the moment that really excites you?
I think AI has such a long way to go. I'm not really excited about emerging technology. I'm excited about emerging solutions to problems. So I really think that the application of even still large language models, definitely large action models, definitely voice capabilities, multimodal models for processing video and text and other things. I think that has a long way to go. I think there's huge application in just applying those things in very specific domains. So a lot of people are excited about the general purpose assistant or the general purpose voice agent. But I think that the opportunity is really to build specific versions of these, which are much more focused on the job. This is the what's it called that I'm thinking of? Forget the bloody name for it now. But anyway, the point is, anything that is designed to be generic is not going to be the best at what it's specifically designed to do. It's called the no free lunch theorem. It's impossible to have something that's the best for all tasks. There's going to be something which is more specialized for it.
Absolutely.
I think the example here is the chat box interface is generic and it works in every situation, but it's not the best in every situation because there are other interfaces which are specially designed to help you leverage your psychological understanding of how the thing is laid out to make that more efficient. There's a reason we have buttons. There's a reason we have sliders. There's a reason we have a map interface for a navigation app. It's because it's better at doing that specific job, even though it could come through a chat interface. So I personally, I'm excited to see many more domain-specific applications, and there's a few of them that we're working on right now, actually, in exactly that approach, where you can build a specialized interface for a particular problem.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, our technology space has regularly, for as long as I've been in it, suffered from the problem that companies tend to be so wrapped up in the technology and the platforms that they're delivering, they don't think of it in terms of problems in the way that you were talking earlier.
Yeah.
And that the language is all of the kind of like tech jargon, and really they've not got the strategic messaging right. They're not actually kind of properly explained. This is the problem I'm solving for you, kind of thing. And we're terrible at it. There's only a few companies that get it right. What are you doing in what you're doing with Parapet to kind of solve that problem?
Yeah. We're none of us are immune to it, right? Because we're all technologists. We're all interested in the technology. So I get it. It's really hard to stay focused on the problem, as you said, which is the important thing to work backward from. So I get a lot of people who join and want to work with me and they have this idea. They have an idea of what they want to work on, but there's a reason we have this board of companies and advisors who are feeding us problems. Because that's always the target. There's always a very clear target of what we're trying to achieve, because it has to work backward from that problem. So I'd say the main thing we're doing is really like establishing a strong board of advisors and companies and industry professionals, which I really want people to join, and really want to get more of an indication, more of a heuristic of the right problems to be solving, so we can feed those in and build solutions to the problems which annoy people, to the problems which take up all the company's time outside of their core competency. So that's really the main focus, and trying to build that into a system where we're just continuously bringing in the best and most validated ideas, have the smartest people to work on them, and then have connected to customers already. I think that's the approach that we're going for.
Excellent. Now, Parapet, you've started, is it 5 months in, 6 months in?
I think something like that, I think a little less.
Oh, okay. What's your ambition? Where are you heading? Where do you want to take Parapet?
We want to be a world-famous education brand that's known for teaching people to become technical founders, and the way to do that is to solve real industry problems. So what I'm focused on right now, have been for the past month or so, is just helping these people to build solutions to problems, getting some early partnerships to work on validated pilot projects, and we want to just build a really strong system for that. So we're doing that thousands of times a year. In the future, I would love for us to be, to really be known as the place where this is an alternative to the traditional career path. So, if you want to learn to become a technical founder, this is where you can go. We're extremely connected and focused on industry problems, and we're at the very bleeding edge. We're at the real very bleeding edge of things. So, that's where I'm focused. Always, having a few ideas of what the state of the art is, and building the early solutions to those problems.
Now, of all of the things we've discussed in the last 20 minutes or so, what do you think is the most important message you'd like the audience to take away?
Focus on your area of expertise.
Yep.
Delegate anything else to AI systems, and we can help you build that.
That is fantastic. You've got such a great story. I'm actually going to ask you to come and speak at one of our member meetings on AI, because you've got a wealth of knowledge about that. It's been fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Great stuff. I hope you enjoyed what Harry had to say, and his kind of particular window on the tech startup scene. We'll be spending more time on that in the coming shows. We're back Wednesday at 14:30 UK time every week. We want your feedback. If you've got suggestions for us, put them in the comments here. Send an email to info@cloudindustryforum.org. Maybe you want to appear on the show, contact me and we'll get you on. We really look forward to hearing from you, and depending on how you're watching this, we'll see you next time or next week. Thanks for watching.